So now I've got some media imported into Windows Movie Maker. Remember, Windows Movie Maker is the editor, and that's where you make all of your decisions about transitions and how the order of events in your movie, etc., etc. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this. I don't like the name on this picture, so I can just right-click on it and rename. We'll just call it Sports Pick. Okay, now before I start bringing some of this media down into my timeline here, let me just review over here. So there are two different modes you can toggle between: tasks, I want to do something to the movie, and collections, kind of the media and the stuff that I want to make my movie from. So normally you don't have to worry too much about that if you can see your media. If you don't see all the media, click over here. There may be additional folders listed here that you'll need to click on to see all of your media. But let's go back to tasks now. I can see everything fine right here. So you can work either in a timeline view or in a storyboard view. So right now this is in what's called a storyboard view, and I can grab the media up here and drop it into the different slots here in the storyboard. And you can change the order of them like so. So let's bring this one over here. But if you prefer to work in a timeline view, you can toggle between them by clicking this. So if I want to show the timeline, now it gives me a timeline with my times across the top and some other different controls we can use as well. If things are kind of squished here, you can kind of expand this timeline by clicking on this magnifying glass, the zoom, and it'll just spread things out a little bit. It's not making them actually any longer. This still goes up to 12 seconds. If I make it smaller, it's still at 12 seconds. It's just easier to work with when you expand it a little bit. Now if your video gets very long, sometimes it's cumbersome to have a very long timeline. You may want to shrink it a little bit, but for now I want to just move it out. Now doing this also allows me to control the length that some of the things appear in my video. So this picture right here is going to be on for 5 seconds right now. Okay, basically from 1 second up to 6 seconds. That's a long time for the picture to be on there, so I want to reduce the amount of time the picture's on there. So I come over here to this side, and when I get that double-sided arrow like that, the double-headed arrow, click, hold, and drag it, and let's make it about 3 seconds, and maybe 2.5 seconds. Okay, that's 2.47 seconds. So now my picture's on the screen less. Now you can do the same thing with these video clips, and it actually trims them. So this video clip right now is a little over 6 seconds long. If I didn't want the tail end of it, I could come here, and now I'm just actually cutting or editing off part of my video by doing this. And you can do the same thing from the front end of it. I'm cutting off the front part of my video by doing that. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off. I'll trim about a second or so off. So I just trim the front of that video. That's one way you can edit a video right here in the timeline. You can also edit them up here as well, but sometimes it's easier just to edit them right in the timeline if you just need a simple trim. So now I've got a short little video here, a picture and a video, and whenever you do anything in Windows Movie Maker, you want to save often because it has a tendency to crash. So we want to come up here and hit save, and I want to save this into that same folder. It's very important that you save everything into the same folder. So I go to desktop, my video, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a name. So I've named this my video project, and I hit save. And now let's just minimize this and go in here, and you'll notice now I have 3 things in here. I have my original video, and I have my project, or my editing project, and that is the icon for the editing project. Okay, that is not a video yet. It is just an editing project. When we're all done, we're going to turn it back into a video, and it will look more like this. So now we're back in Windows Movie Maker, and before I just play this little sample here, I just want to show you one little extra thing. In part of the video timeline is actually an audio track. So there's audio that goes with this video clip, and there's audio that goes here. If you hit this plus sign here to expand it, it shows you the audio track. So here's the audio track for this first little clip. There's no audio track for the picture. And here's the audio track for my second video clip. And now let's go ahead and play them. So I'm going to go to the beginning, and I'm going to hit play right here. And it's playing through my video. Okay, so first it did this short little one, then the picture, and then it gave me the next part of my video right here. Now, there are a bunch of different effects we can add in here. We can make them go more slowly. We can put like a sepia effect on there. We can do transitions, etc. But what I'm showing you right here is just how to basically arrange them on the timeline. Again, you can pick them up and move them. So I want the picture after that clip now, like so. And you can mute the timeline. If I don't really want the sound of the audio for this one right here, there's very little audio anyway, I can just come down to my audio track and right click on it and choose mute. If I wanted the audio to be louder, I can right click on it, go to volume, and I could bring this to the right, and that will increase the sound or the volume of the audio. Remember, save often, so I'm going to come back and just hit save, and then I'm going to go ahead and play it again. And finally I end with my picture. Okay, let's pause that. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to put in music. So we have some music right here, and I'm basically going to drag this music file into this layer right here, this audio layer. See, it says audio music. I'm going to drag it into there. So I just bring it down like so. I'll put it all the way at the beginning. And it extends out quite a ways. If I scroll, see, this song actually goes all the way to about over 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes. So it's way too long for what my purpose is here. So I'm going to trim it. So remember, I come to the end here just like I would do with a video file. I come down here. When I get the double-sided arrow, I click and drag. I'm just going to bring it so it ends at the end of my movie. And I'm also going to trim it in the front because there's some audio here that I want to keep, and I don't want the music and this audio at the same time, so let's trim it here a little bit too. So we'll have it just start playing when the second video clip starts. And remember, we already muted the audio clip for this video, so it's just going to play the music. So let's see what it sounds like now, but let's save it first, and let's go ahead and play. Okay, so next let's talk about transitions. So in order to put transitions in, it's probably easier to go into storyboard view. So I'm going to toggle, I'm in timeline right now, I'm going to toggle over to storyboard view. And because when you're in storyboard view, it shows you the clips and it gives you this nice little place between each clip where you can put a transition. So in order to put a transition, and I want to open up this this area called Edit Movie, so I click this, and when I open this up, I can see that one of my choices is to view the transitions available. So you have all these different types of transitions. If you double click on one of them, it'll show you a sample over here of how it works. This checkerboard. So you pick what you like here. So I'm going to take this checkerboard and you just drop it in between the clips. And let's find another one. This one I'm just going to use a fade, like so. So now if I go back to the beginning and play it, you'll notice that the scenes or the clips will actually transition from one to another using checkerboard and then using fade. There's one other thing I want to do to my audio clip. Let's go back to the timeline. I noticed the music doesn't come on right away with this, so I'm going to actually change that. So let's trim the front of this and let's move it like so, and then I'll just extend out or truncate the back of it as well, because when I added my transitions, it actually shortened my timeline because there's overlap now, so I have to truncate at the back. So let's go to the beginning, let's save, and let's play it now. So now you probably noticed, let me pause this, you probably noticed the transitions between the different clips now. And those are some of the major parts of making a video. So bringing your media down to the timeline, bringing some audio in, putting transitions in between your different clips. The last thing I'll show you is an effect that you can put on either a still picture or a video. So let's go ahead and we'll start with this video right here. I'm going to right click on this first little video clip, and I'm going to go to video effects. And I think what I'll do, I'll just slow this down. So let's go ahead and do a slow down, half speed. And I'm going to actually put it in twice. This way you'll really see how it slows down. It also pushed out and extended my timeline when I did this, because now it's going to take longer to play that clip since it's been slowed down. So I'm going to have to extend my music as well. But before I do that, let's add an effect to my still picture here. So if I right click on this and go to video effects, I'm going to put an effect on this still picture. I'm going to have it ease in as the video editor shows it. And it shows a little star on there. That means I know that there's an effect on there. And I can see there's a star on here, so it shows as an effect. All right, so let's, you know what? I'm going to mute actually the audio because it's going to sound funny. Now that I slowed this down, it's going to sound very funny, that audio, as part of this video. So I'm going to actually mute it. And I'm just going to go with my music. So let's use my music all the way to the beginning. And let's click and extend it out to the end. Let's go to the beginning and let's save it. And then let's play our clip now. And here you can see it easing in. Okay, so I've added effects to the different clips. I put transitions in between them. I've added a music or an audio track here. I've muted the audio track that goes with the video. And I've saved often. So this is all you need to do to edit a very, very simple movie. In the next step, we'll look at how to actually turn this editing project into an actual movie.